Okay, we're going to finish our bind off by purling each stitch and slipping the first stitch over. And then when we get to the very last bind off, okay, we're going to loosen that up and make sure you have your eye hook handy, your crochet hook. And we're going to pull out our needle, insert the crochet hook, and tighten the loop. So we're done with the knitting needles now, and now we're going to begin the crochet scallop edging. So we're still on the wrong side, the side that we bound off, and we're just going to turn our work to the right side now. And we're going to begin by taking a look at you can see the bind off here, all the stitches. There's a set of loops for each bind off. And what we're going to do is skip the first 3 bind offs. So 1, 2, 3. And we're going to work into the 4th bind off. And in crochet, what you want to do is work into the 2 loops on the top. There's going to be 2 free loops, and you want to go through both of those. So if you want, you can loosen it up a bit before you work into it. And we'll just keep our thumb there so we don't forget which stitch we want to go into. So we've skipped the first 3 bind offs, and we're working into the 4th. We're going to yarn over our hook so that we have 2 loops on the hook. And we'll start our 5 half double crochets by going into those 2 loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, and with a half double crochet you're going to want 3 loops on your hook. Then you'll yarn over and pull through all 3 loops like so. So that's 1 half double crochet, and we want 5 in this stitch. So we'll do another one, yarn over, insert hook into the stitch, yarn over, drop a loop, so we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and draw that yarn through all 3 loops. So there's our second half double. So we'll continue on with our 3rd half double, yarn over, go through the 3 loops. Okay, now we want to go on to our 4th half double, 3 loops, yarn over, draw through all 3. And that was 4. Now we'll do our final half double, yarn over, insert hook, drop a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops. Okay, so that is our first set of 5 half double crochets. And then we want to skip 2 bind offs, and in the 3rd bind off we're going to do a slip stitch. So insert that hook into those 2 loops. We are in both loops. And for a slip stitch, you just want to yarn over your hook, pull through the 2 loops, and then pull through the loop on your hook. So we've completed our slip stitch. And our first scallop is done. So now we'll continue on to the next scallop. We'll yarn over our hook, and we want to skip the next 2 bind offs. So you might want to turn your work here a little bit. You see we just went into these loops, so we skip 1, 2, and we'll go into our 3rd. So yarn over. There we go. And it'll help when you bind off to do it loosely. That way it's easier to insert your hook when you're ready to do this. Okay. So we're doing our 5 half double crochets for our next scallop. 2, 3, 4, and our last one, 5. Okay, and then we're going to skip 1, 2 bind offs, and in our 3rd bind off, insert the hook and do a slip stitch. So now we have 2 scallops completed. Okay, and then we just continue on in pattern. 1, 2 stitches, go into the third, 1 half double. Okay, and we get to the end, we're going to do our last scallop. So we'll skip 2 bind offs and work our 5 half doubles into the third bind off. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 half doubles completed, and then we'll skip the next 2 bind offs and we'll slip stitch into the very last bind off. We want to make sure we are going through both loops. It's a little tricky. There they are. So we'll just do a slip stitch to finish that last scallop off. And then our scallop is done. And to finish this, you'll just want to snip your yarn over, and just pull through the last loop, just as you would a regular knitting bind off, and tighten and weave in your end. And we're done.